Hello students, welcome to the part 3 of the 5 kingdom classification. In today's lecture we are going to start with the next phylum, that is the fifth phylum, that is Annelida. So first we will understand what do you mean by Annelida. Annelida means ring like structures. Why it is known as the ring like structures? Let's understand. See, uh, this flat element is Nematoda, Annelida. All three were worms, all three were the crawling and creeping animals we got. Okay, but there is a difference between this Annelida. See, I would like to mention up the difference for you. This is the body. See, we can see out here also there is the segment in between. There is the segment in between, like we can see out here. They have the segmented body. This is the main feature. It has two openings, that is mouth and anus. Okay, they have the two opening, that is the mouth and the anus. Mouth, through which they engulf the food. Okay, they take in the food, and anus is the part where they have to excrete out their food. So basically Nematoda and Annelida, there is a one difference, and that's a major difference. See, in Annelida they have the segmented body, whereas in Nematoda they have the unsegmented body, means they does not have the segment. Their body is like straight, like this. They have the two opening, that is the mouth and the anus, but they does not have the segments. But in this earthworms and all, they have mouth, they have anus, their body have segmented like this. So there is a difference between this part. Now let's understand more about the earthworms first. We all know that earthworms are considered to be the friends of farmers. Okay, we have studied this in 5th or 4th standard. Why earthworms are considered to be the friends of farmers? Because earthworms helps in the agriculture part, okay, with the farmers. Earthworm helps us to provide the soil the fertility. Okay, it provides the soil nutrition. Okay, if the soil is nutrient, so definitely on that land plants will grow good. So that is why earthworms are considered to be the friends of the farmer. Now let's understand some of the qualities of the earthworm. See, we humans respire through lungs, fish respire through gills. Same like that, earthworms respire, see, through skin. Earthworm respire through skin, because their skin has to be moist. If you touch the earthworm, so their skin is moist, and through this moistness they respire, okay, with the help of the skin. So their skin has to be moist. Why their skin has to be moist? For respiration, because dry air is not suitable for the earthworms. As well, they are considered as nocturnal. What do you mean by the nocturnal animals? Nocturnal animals are those that they avoid light. They are active during the night time. Okay, earthworms are more active during the night time. During day times they are burrow. Okay, they live in burrows in damp soil, means they live inside the soil. Okay, and what they does, as they live inside the soil, so they eat up that soil. Okay, when the soil is eaten in large quantity, it is passed through the other end of the body, that means the anus. Okay, through anus it gets excreted out, and it helps to provide the humus. What do you mean by the humus? Humus means which helps to maintain up the fertility of a soil, which makes the soil eligible for the cultivation of the crops. Now the common Indian earthworm, its scientific name is the common Indian Ferritema posthuma. Ferritema posthuma, it's nothing but the scientific name of the Indian earthworm. Okay, because there are different types of the earthworm, but we have to study only this name, that is the Ferritema posthuma. Okay, This is the scientific name. See, as I said, there are two structures. Suppose I consider this part as mouth and this part as the anus. This is the mouth part. So if you look at the mouth part now, we got a band kind of a structure like this, which is known as the clitellum. Which is known as the clitellum. It is very dark. It is very dark. It is a very thick band. Okay, it is very dark, and this clitellum serves for the reproduction part. Okay, we can't go in detail of this part, how this clitellum serves for the reproduction, because there is a small opening that is present close to the clitellum which serves for the reproduction. So as of now, this clitellum you can understand like this. This helps in serving of the reproduction, so that new generation of the earthworm can get exist. This also helps us to aerate the soil. What does that means? Earthworm also helps to aerate the soils. Aerate the soil means it helps to make it fertile. Okay, since the fertility of the soil increases, it becomes good for the plants as well as for the soil, because it helps to maintain up the natural fertility. Because earthworm helps to maintain up the natural fertility. You don't have to use any of the fertilizers. Okay, and the earthworm when excrete means the waste part which gets removed out of the body of the earthworm is nitrogenous in nature. What does that means? Nitrogenous in nature. See, since we know some of the basic concept, okay, if you want to grow the crops, the soil should have the excess amount of the nitrogen. If the soil has the excess amount of nitrogen, so it becomes very good for the plants to grow. Okay, if the soil has the perfect amount of the nitrogen, so it is very good also. So the soil should be nitrogenous. So from where this soil is going to get the nitrogen? From the excrete part of the earthworm. I mean to say the waste part. Okay, many people use earthworm as baits also. Bait. Bait. It is the food placed on hook by the fishermen to catch the fish. Okay, you have seen the fisherman on the hook side, they hang this earthworm so that many of the fish get attracted toward this food, and this is how the fishermen catch up the fish. So there is a difference between flatworm, roundworm, ringworm. This is Flathelminthes, Nematoda, Annelida. They have unsegmented body, they have cylindrical body, they have the segmented body. Okay, they have, see, their body cavity is absent. In this, they have the false body cavity and they have the true body cavity. Okay, these are some of the features. And what is the third feature? It has only one opening, that is the mouth. Okay, only one opening. It has two different openings, that is mouth and anus. It has both the openings, okay, at both the ends. One is the mouth and other is the anus. Now let's understand about the body symmetry first, because I'm going to start with a new phylum, that is the Orthopoda. But before starting of this phylum, let's understand this part. Symmetry, it's a mathematical term also. Symmetry means to get divided into equal parts. What does that mean? It means it has to get divided into equal parts. Suppose this is an organism, okay? This is an organism. This is an amoeba. If you look at the diagram, they have been divided into two parts like this. So can we say that this amoeba is perfectly divided? Yes, obviously no. So we are going to call this as word as asymmetry. Asymmetry means when the body part are not exactly divided. But when we consider about the humans, okay, or when we consider about the housefly, and if I'm going to cut them in a straight, so this half part of the body of this housefly would be look similar as the other half. Okay, this half side of the human body would be same as the other half. So this says this is considered as bilateral symmetrical. What do you mean by bilateral symmetrical? Bilateral means two sides. Okay, two side symmetry. Bilateral means the two side symmetry. They have been divided into two equal parts. And now we are going to talk about the starfish. Starfish is radially symmetric in nature. What do you mean by radially symmetrical in nature? Radially symmetrical in nature, see, from the center it has been divided into 5 equal half. See, I have cut the starfish like this, so it has been equally divided. Okay, when we are dividing from the center, okay, when we divide it from the radius part, radius means from this center part, from this part, so it has been equally divided, okay, into two equal halves. So this is known as the radially symmetric. From the center, if you are going to see this half and this half, it's nothing but similar only. Okay, because it has been divided from the center, so it has got a name, that is the radially symmetrical. Let's understand this concept now. Orthopoda. First, this orthopoda class has included many of the animals. Okay, many of the animals like snail, slug, oyster, okay, octopus. This all animals they have included. What do you mean by the mollusca class? Mollusca means the organisms which have these soft bodies. Okay, their bodies are soft. As their bodies are soft, they have been classified in the mollusca part. Okay, they all animals inside this are radially asymmetrical. Radially asymmetrical means if you are going to divide them from the center, they are not been perfectly divided. Okay, radially asymmetrical means if you are going to divide them, so they are not been going to divide into proper types. Okay, now see, as their bodies are soft, so they can be easily killed up, but it is not so. Why? Because the snails and all, if you are going to see the snails and all, they have the hard outer covering. Okay, they have the hard protective part, which is called as the shell. Okay, this is the snail, suppose. This is the hard part, which is the shell. What is the function of this shell? The function of this shell is to protect the soft body which is present inside the shell. Okay, and this shells helps to give up the protection, and it acts as a weapon also. And as they also crawl, okay, so how it is possible? They does not have the legs. Okay, so how they can move from one place to another? So if you notice snail, okay, so there are some of the muscular foot. Okay, they are so small that it is not that visible. Okay, but when you look at the snail, so you will notice there are some of the small foot which is muscular in nature, which helps them to move. Okay, it helps them for the locomotion. Locomotion means what? A movement from one place to another. Now the next part, this is the, sorry students, there was a mistake. Actually this was the mollusca diagram. This was the mollusca part. Now I'm going to discuss about the orthopoda. Sorry, it was the reverse example. So this was all about the mollusca part, which has given that they have the muscular foot. Okay, they have the hard shells, they help in the locomotion part and all. Now we are going to discuss about the orthopoda part. See, there is one line or a filling the blank question, okay, which is the largest phylum. Okay, so largest phylum is the orthopoda. See, there are 9 phylum. So out of this 9 phylum, who is the largest? Orthopoda is the largest. What do you mean by the word orthopoda? Orthopoda means the jointed leg. Jointed leg. Okay. See, this orthopoda class have the even numbers of limb. They have even number of legs. Even number of legs means what? They would have 4, 6, 8. Okay, they won't be in an odd figure like 1, 3, 5. They have the even number of legs. If you are going to look at the spider, it has 8 legs. Okay, it has 8 legs. Then the other organisms also we have. Okay, they have 4 to 5 limbs. 4 to 5 legs. 4 to 6, sorry, because it has the even part. This orthopoda class, as I said, they have been considered at the jointed leg. Their exoskeleton is made up of the chitin. Okay, what do you mean by the exoskeleton? The exoskeleton means the covering. Okay, exo means outside. Their exoskeleton is made up of a chemical that is called biomolecule substance that is called chitin. This chitin helps the orthopoda class to get protected, as we have bones inside our body. Okay, but this is the endoskeleton. What do you mean by exoskeleton? Like your nails, okay, which is outside the skin na? So these are the exoskeleton. So same like that, the exoskeleton is made up of the chitin. If you are going to look at the crabs, okay, so they have the hard protective cover. That hard protective cover is made up of this chitin. Okay, this is called as the chitin. Now I am going to introduce with a concept called casting and regrowing of this exoskeleton. See, whenever any of the organisms grows, like crabs or something, spiders, so whenever they grow, so at that period of a time they shed off their skin. Okay, casting off and regrowing of this exoskeleton is called the molting condition. There is casting off and regrowing of the exoskeleton. In snake and lizard we have heard about this part, shading of the skin. What does shading of the skin means? Removing of the old skin and getting a new one. In the humans also we get this part. Okay, so same like that in the organisms, when any of these crabs and all they grow, so they shade off their skin and make it regrow. This is called the molting condition. So this mollusca part we have discussed. Echinodermata. See, in the mollusca class and the echinodermata, it's one and the same only. Okay, but there is a difference between them. See, as the mollusca class was having the shell to get protected. Okay, so this echinodermata, if you look at the starfish, okay, they have the spiny surface, and this spiny surface helps them to get protected. Even they have the soft bones. But so why this starfish has not been placed in the mollusca? The reason for this, because it has the spiny surface to get protected. In the mollusca class they have the shell to get protected. Okay, in mollusca they move with the muscular foot, as I made you aware. Suppose this is a snail, so there are small legs present on the under surface, which is nothing but the muscular foot. But echinodermata, they help to get move with the tube feet. They move with the tube feet. What do you mean by tube feet? If you have seen of the starfish and all, okay, if you have saw up the under surface of the water, they get stick on the rocks also. So how it is possible? Because they have the small tubes like structure like this on their body, which gets attached on the stones, and this tube only helps them to move also. As mollusca class was radially asymmetrical in nature, okay, but this echinodermata is radially symmetrical. See, I have given the example of the starfish before also. If you are going to cut the starfish like this, okay, so it will be getting equally divided. Okay, they will be getting equally divided because they all have the similar part. This is radially symmetrical, radially from the center, I mean to say. Now we are going to discuss the last phylum, that is the chordata phylum. This chordata is very important. What is the difference between this chordata? As I said, the chordata means the backbone. These animals have the backbone. So that is why they have the proper vertebrae. Okay, vertebrae means the spinal cord has the vertebrae. Okay, which makes them hard. Okay, which helps them to make them sit also and function also. Now we are going to study about the different types of the vertebrate classes, that is the chordata phylum. They have been divided into Pisces, Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves, Mammalia. Okay, first we are going to discuss about the Pisces. See, this Pisces means the phylum. Pisces means what? The phylum which is related to the fishes. Okay, all the fishes have been included in this Pisces part. They have the two chambered heart. Like suppose this is the heart, so they have only two parts. This is the left hand side and this is the right. Only two chambers they have. As we know, some of the basic knowledge, fish respire through gills which are present on their body. As in humans, we respire through lungs, so these fishes respire through gills. They are the cold-blooded animals. Cold-blooded, there is another word in your text, that is poikilothermal. They are the poikilothermal also. Cold-blooded or poikilothermal also we can call it. What does this means, cold-blooded animals? That they can regulate their body temperature with the environment. Okay, if the body temperature, if the outside temperature is too hot, so they can maintain up that coolness inside their body. If the outside condition is too cold, so they can maintain up that heat inside their body. Reverse condition it can do. So this means the poikilothermal. Poikilothermal means which can regulate their temperature. Okay. The fish have no limbs, like no leg, no hands and no legs. Okay. Their body is covered with the scales. So if you are going to look at the fish part, so this part, like the scale part, their body is made up of these scales. These fishes have been divided into two parts. It is made up of the cartilage and the bony fish. Cartilage means whose skeleton is made up of the cartilage, as of your nose tips, okay, and your ears. So ears does not have any of the skeleton because it is made up of this cartilage. Okay, so same like that, there are some of the fishes which are made up of this cartilage. Example like shark, okay, dogfish, etc. There are many examples, and skates also. And bony fish means whose skeleton is made up of the bones, like our inner side of the body. Okay, it is made up of the bones. So they are carps, roaches, trouts, etc. See, this is a basic diagram. We can't go in detail about this part because no labeling has been done for the Pisces. You just have to see up this part. This is the fish and this is the gill slits. Okay, from which it is going to respire. Now amphibia class. Amphibia means some animals who can live on land as well as water. Amphibia means, so they are partly on land and partly in water. They breathe by gills in the larva stage, but breathe by gills when it comes in the adult stage. See, sorry, exactly it's wrong. They breathe by lungs in the adult stage. See, whenever any of the, see, before the development of a frog, there is a condition called toad. Okay, when it is very small organism, they respire through gills because the organism is very small. The function has not been developed, the body has not been developed, so that is why they respire through the gills. But when this toad get converted into the frog and all. Frog. So it respire through the lungs, because now the toad has become the frog, and now the frog is a bigger organism. The body is very well developed, so it develops up the respiratory system, and now it is going to respire through the lungs. Even their skin is slimy, okay, if you are going to touch and all. And they have the 3-chambered heart, okay, they have the 3-chambered heart. What do you mean by 3 chambers? Like suppose this is a heart, okay, like this, 3 chamber, 1 2 3. They have the 3-chamber heart. Even they are the cold-blooded animals. What does that mean? They can regulate their body temperature. Now we are going to move to the next, okay. These are the toad, salamander, okay, salamander and frog. Now we are going to discuss about the reptilia. What does that means? Reptiles means the creeping animals, okay, creeping animals like snake and all, okay. If you are going to see the snake, lizard, they does not have the limbs and all, they move with the help of the body, okay. So they are known as the creeping animals. They live completely on land. See, Pisces used to live in the water because they are the fish. Amphibia was partly on land and partly in water, but the reptilia completely live on the land only, okay. They breathe from the lungs only from the very start of their life, okay. Again they are the 3-chamber heart like the amphibia, and again they are the cold-blooded animals, okay. So what is the difference between an amphibia and a reptilia? This part and this part. These are the two differences, and two similarities are 3-chambered heart and cold-blooded animals. These are the classes of the reptilia. You can see up here cobra, turtle and all. Okay. Aves. Now this aves is again related to birds, okay. This class is related with the birds. Now see, birds from the very start, they move, breathe from the lungs, okay. Their exoskeleton means the feather. Exo means the outer side of the skin, okay. Outer side of the skeleton is made up of the feather. There is the 4-chambered heart. See, 4-chamber means what? This 1 2 3 4. They have the 4-chamber heart. They are the warm-blooded animals. See, the before 3 classes for the cold-blooded, but they are warm-blooded. What does that means? Warm-blooded means they are homeothermal in nature. What does homeo means? Homeothermal. The word homeo means same. Homo, same, and thermal means heat. Okay, homeo means same, thermal means heat, same heat. Now, what does that means? Their body temperature is constant, whether it is too hot outside or whether there is too cold outside. The body temperature is going to be maintained perfect, that much only, okay. It can't be too high or it can't be too low. It has to maintain up with same temperature. Like how the fishes can maintain up their body temperature. If there is too hot outside, so it can be cool inside their body. But this Aves class and Mammalia class are warm-blooded. The next class I am going to show. And they lay egg, okay. They can't give birth to their young ones directly. These birds have to lay egg, and from that egg a new organism like a bird develops. These are some of the aves and sunbird, okay, duck, pond heron, any of the examples you can take. Mammal class. These mammals are very important, okay. Even we are the mammals only, the humans, okay. Monkey, apes, cat, dog. This is a very big classification. See, most of the similarity I am going to show. Breathe by lungs, even in the class of the aves. they breathe by lungs. They have the four chambered heart. They are warm blooded. Okay, there is an exception out here. See this part. They give birth to the young one. What does avics class does? They lay egg. But in the case of the humans, we does not lay egg. We give directly birth to the young ones. Okay, so that is why we have been called as the viviporous also. Viviparous animals. Okay. Now there are two exceptions. That is the duck-billed platypus and spiny anteater are the two exceptions to this part. Why they are two exceptions? Because they lay egg. So now there is a question, sir, why they have been considered in the class of the mammals then? If they lay egg, they don't give the birth to the young one. The reason for this, because they have more of the features, like they breathe through lungs, they have four chambered heart, they are warm blooded, and many such features, like they have the diaphragm, okay, they have the ears kind of a structures, they can move with the help of the limbs. Many such examples are there. So that is why they have been considered in this part, with an exception this. But see, these are the mammals class. It's very large, you can see it. So thank you students. This was the part 3 of the 5 kingdom classification.